Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. First of all, thank you guys so much for the response to the previous week's video. I'm so happy to know that these walkthrough videos are kind of inspiring you guys in your own way and helping you to kind of come up with some interesting stuff. Since many of you guys said that I should keep doing this, I'm going to try to keep doing this as long as I can. So this week's track, I really hope that you guys liked it. It's more of I guess like a metalcore slash punk kind of a song. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on. So for the drums, I'm actually using the GGDP4 kit in its default thing. I of course did mix it later on, but it just sounds so good straight out of the box. So that's what we are using for drums. For the bass, I'm using the Submission Audio Punk bass going into parallax. So this is the chain that I've used for the bass guitar. Pretty straightforward stuff. For the guitars, I'm actually using the Horizon Devices Precision Drive. So for the guitars, I'm actually using the Horizon Devices Precision Drive into my Neural DSP Quad Cortex. So even though you can actually capture this pedal and put it into the Quad Cortex, having this in front of the Quad Cortex just adds a little bit of a bite that I'm just not able to recreate with anything at all. This is so good, so it's just become a staple in my guitar tone right now. Anything I do, I just put the precision drive in front of it and it just sounds so meaty and so chunky. So that's what we use for the guitars. There are some very interesting things going on here even as far as the synths are concerned. So what I like to do is first I write the guitar, the drums, the bass, and put down the skeletal structure of the song. Once all of that is done, I try to see if I can kind of decorate the song with some interesting synth parts. So wherever there is space, I just love to sprinkle some synth and make it sound really cool. So some of the interesting things that you can kind of see going on here is this. So that's basically just like a voice, but I'm distorting it with the decapitator, just adding so much of drive to it and making it sound really nasty. And in terms of how it sits in the mix, just check this out. So it just makes it a little more bouncy, like that section of the song sounds very bouncy. Apart from that, there are some really interesting synths kind of going on in the beginning. I mean, it's not really a synth, it's like a piano thing. So this is how it sounds without any processing. So with the processing, it sounds basically it's all just distortion and saturation. I'm using the little radiator over here and the double lock, so I'm really distorting the hell out of this. The song came together pretty quickly, and also what I love doing is writing two grooves. So probably some of you guys noticed that it says easy libraries and stuff. Basically these are grooves from the Easy Drummer. I'm just kind of using the grooves from the Easy Drummer to put it on the P4 kit and making it work that way. And once all the tracking was done, I kind of exported all of those and mixed the whole song in Logic. So let's get into Logic now and see what we are doing there. Okay, so here we are in Logic. So let's quickly look at what's going on. So basically what I did was I bounced all the guitars, all the rhythm guitars and the lead guitars into a single track. So usually I don't do that, but for this particular song there was not too much of a lead kind of thing going on. Most of them were just riffs, so I thought that I should just bounce them out just for simplicity and making things a lot more simpler. So I have run it through my standard guitar chain of how I go about mixing it. So it's pretty straightforward. The first thing I do is just add some EQ, just some filtering going on, filtering out the lows, extreme lows and the highs, just so that you can make some space for the guitar. Then I'm kind of adding some saturation using the decapitator, and then I have a multiband. A multiband is just to kind of catch the peaks. It's not doing too much at all, especially in this region. It's the super famous Andy Sneap C4 trick, just to kind of catch the palm mutes and make it tuck in. Apart from that, there's some EQ going on, just to kind of boosting the highs. I could have pretty much done that over here, but for some reason I thought I should use another plugin, and I've done that. Pretty standard stuff. let's look at the bass. So the bass, pretty much the same thing. So once we kind of bounced it off the parallax, I've just kind of run it through a decapitator over here just to kind of add a little more saturation to the bass tone. Some EQ. So sometimes the EQs can look absolutely crazy, but as long as it works in the mix, it works in the mix. Then that's about it. So apart from that, the drums are all here. Took some time to mix the drums, and again, like what I've done is just created a lot of different templates. So whenever I'm using like a P4 kit, for example, I've already made like a template and kept saved it, so that I can just open that up and not have to remix the drums every single time. So these are some of the things that you can do to save time, especially when you're trying to just put some ideas down and make something sound good very quickly. Templates can really help you save the day. So that's what's kind of going on here. So once all these tracks are balanced, I just pretty much run it through my mix bus chain. So this chain ideally was created by watching a lot of Nolly's videos on YouTube and a Creative Live course that he had put out that they had put out really long ago. So that's what this is influenced from. Basically, what's ideally happening in the chain is some EQ, some saturation from the tape and all these other modules over here, and then finally some compression, right? So compression, EQ and saturation, the three things that are mainly happening in the mix bus. Apart from that, finally I'm kind of using like flatline to bring up the volume, and I'm not doing some crazy mastering. I'm just trying to get it to sound loud enough. Anyway, I'm posting these on Instagram and YouTube, so it doesn't really matter, but I thought I should. It sounds nice to kind of, I mean, it feels nice to kind of hear it at a louder volume anyways. So that's ideally what's going on. So that's what this week's song was about. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did like this, please let me know. I would always love to know if you found it useful. Kind of motivates me to do more of these as well. And if you do like these videos, please like it, share it, subscribe and all of those things. I'm just kind of getting into this, so your help will be appreciated a lot. So I'll see you guys next week.